All right, week one, only two games left. Those will be played tomorrow. Today, I'm not going to be talking about the whole league, though. I just want to talk about my team, the Seahawks, what they did today. Tomorrow, or actually probably the next day, after the Monday night games, I want to get to the rest of the league. But I decided I wanted to do the Seattle video now, 5 hours after the game ended, just so I didn't have to make 4 or 5 videos in a row. Hopefully this will make things a little nicer. Give this video a little more time to be at the top of my playlist thing. So, we won. We looked great. Played really well. Really happy with how things turned out. I'll say during the first quarter, me and my dad were livid. My dad was freaking out. And, he's a pretty pessimistic fan as far as sports goes. He's pretty pessimistic, so when there's reason to be pessimistic, he really gets into it. And the first quarter, Matt looked awful. His first 3 passes were pathetic. He threw another interception after a great trick play by Seneca Wallace, which I liked. I kind of like that attitude. We're going to run some trick plays. We're going to do some weird stuff. And I appreciated that. So I like to see that. He played awful in that first quarter, and I was getting incredibly mad because he was making some throws that nobody should make. It was pathetic. It had me this close to calling for Wallace because Wallace has shown that he's a capable NFL quarterback. Second quarter, he had one bad throw in the second quarter that was into double coverage. It didn't get picked off, and it wasn't really close to being picked off, but it was a bad throw, and that got me upset too. But he calmed down. He got on his game and played a really good game. 25 of 36, 279 yards, and 3 touchdowns. The 2 picks were in the first quarter, and trust me, I was mad at him, and I'm past all that now. I pushed all that out of my mind. It's like that never happened for now. But if he continues to have these bad starts, then I'm not going to be able to forget it for long. For now, I'll just say, okay, he just had a bad start. He came back. We won big. I'm not going to complain. But first quarter by the offense was pathetic. Especially when our special teams forced that fumble on the opening kickoff. Great way to start your season, Force a fumble on the kickoff, then go down for the score, right? Well, Matt made 2 horrible throws. One of them got picked off, and there you go. So, that, I was ready to choke somebody. And the defense, I'll say our defense played good the whole game. I was never mad at the defense. We gave up like 2 half-decent drives by the Rams. One of them ended in a missed field goal. The other one, they went for it on fourth down at the very end of the game, and they didn't get it. Held them out of the box score at all. They didn't score. Shutout, the only shutout of the day, so that's awesome. We got pretty good pressure on Bulger. A couple times I was like, where's the pressure? But for the most part, I cannot complain. Did a great job on Steven Jackson. He had one run of 22 yards. Other than that, we took care of him. 16 carries, 67 yards. He did not have a catch. Was really pretty much a non-factor in this game. Very pleased with that. No Torrey Holt anymore to kill us, because Torrey Holt will do that against us. I'm just saying. Donnie Avery, he made some plays out there that impressed me. He's a scrapper. He tries hard. He gets those extra yards. I liked what I saw from him. It obviously was nowhere near enough today, but he's a player, I think. He also had that fumble on the opening kickoff, but in general, I was impressed with him. So, defensively, the only thing we didn't do was force a turnover. Our one turnover was on special teams, but, we shut them down and we really took care of business out there, so I can't complain about anything. So, defensively, throughout the whole game, great against the pass, the run, didn't give up anything too big. Robinson had one big catch late in the game, but the game was already over at that point, so I don't really care, and it didn't lead to anything. So, our defense looks really good. The offense, again, that first quarter bad, but we got into a rhythm in the second quarter. The touchdown to Carlson was, a great play. Nice little 1 yard throw. Good way to get him in his rhythm after a great drive, a 73-yard drive. And then right before the half, we were going to kick a field goal. It got blocked. They took it back, but they had 12 men on the field. So I was livid again after that blocked field goal. I was like, give me a break. I was livid. And I usually don't show emotion on camera, but trust me, I was mad. My mom and dad were mad. It was bad. But, you know, I couldn't get mad after the penalty because, you know, when you think about it, maybe they blocked the kick because they had 12 men out there. So it's hard to get mad at the team for something that may have not been their fault. So 12 men on the field, it was obvious. We kept the ball, ran down. Burleson had a good touchdown catch. Burleson had a fumble early, which was just one thing contributing to my anger throughout the first quarter. But he came back, had a great game, caught a touchdown. Carlson, Burleson, and Hushmanzada all had good games. Hushmanzada not as big as the other two, but those three guys, I feel like we can go to war with those three guys catching passes, and we can really be good. So that was great, and we went to the half up 14-0. Not feeling too good because I was still a little shaky on this team. And then the third quarter, 99-yard drive, and all was forgiven. That was a beautiful drive. Carlson had two giant catches, a 38-yarder and a 33-yarder that was a touchdown. 7 plays, less than 4 minutes, 99 yards. We looked amazing on that drive. And, you know, I saw everything that this offense could be because I think with these receivers, even though Branch is out, with these receivers, we should be making it look easy against a lot of teams. We should have somebody open on every play, making catches. We should never be throwing into double coverage. We should not have to do that. Somebody in this offense should be open. The passing game should be clicking. And on that drive, it definitely was. And throughout most of this game, it was. And then we forced a punt. Julius Jones, 1 play, 1 carry. I want to talk about that actually. Jones played great. Edgerrin James came in and played okay. The stats are not that pretty, but a lot of his carries came at the end when we were just running out the clock. Forsett got in the action a little bit. I like that. I like Forsett. I hope he can make a real impact on this team, and he had 17 yards today, so that's a little something that's kind of nice. So just really relieved that the second and third quarter played out the way it did. Julius Jones, even if you take out that one long run, played pretty well. There were a couple times where we had negative plays. I don't like that, but he played well. A lot of times he got what was there, and the one long touchdown just sealed up a great day for him. Edge, it's nice to have him out there because I trust Edgerrin James to not fumble. He almost never fumbles, so I appreciate that. The offensive line played really well without Walter Jones. The secondary played well without Marcus Trufant. I know this video is probably going on longer than it needs to for a 28-0 game, but I did want to talk about some minor concerns I have, but I wanted to gush a little bit too over how happy I was with a lot of the elements of this game, and it gave me some hope for this whole season. Again, to continue with the offensive line, the run blocking was solid, the pass blocking was pretty great, very little pressure. Game ball. I'm hesitant to give it to Matt because of how bad he played in that first quarter, and it got me so mad. I think I'm going to have to give it to Carlson. Carlson played awesome. Offensively, he's definitely the MVP. I think he was the MVP of the whole game for us. Defensively, I'm going to say Tutupu just because nobody stood out, and he's the leader of the defense. And he had 3 tackles, which is not great. He had a sack, which is cool. Lawrence Jackson got in on the action. He got a sack. Last year, he only had a sack in 1 game last year. He had 2 against the 49ers. So to see him get in on it is good. Mebane had a sack. We got pressure in other situations. Aaron Curry had a couple of nice plays. I liked what I saw from him. I know Leroy Hill got hurt, but I thought it looked like a minor thing, so I'm not worried about that. Ken Lucas played pretty well out there. He didn't make any plays, but I thought his coverage looked good, and that's what I was concerned about with him because in Carolina last year it was not so good. So all in all, I can't say too much bad. I will say I got really mad in the first quarter, and I'm sure all Seattle fans out there did too, but at the end of the day, we whooped that ass, and I'm happy. So that's all I got for this game. I'll talk about the rest of the league tomorrow or the next day.